Hi, from our film room. So I am doing something that I've never done before, which is recording a video in 4K resolution. I normally only record in 1080p, 60 frames a second, and I can only record on this camera in 24 or 30 frames a second. This is 24 frames a second. This is very new for me, but I'm doing this because the camera that I use, which is the Sony ZV-E10, I'm in the process of just editing our California trip to Warner Brothers and Disneyland and California Adventure and Knott's Berry Farm, and I'm just trying to see how that video turned out in terms of the quality, in terms of both the video and the audio quality, and I'm trying to tweak that, and I'm trying to work with this camera to figure out the best way to use it, because I really like the wide angle aspect of this lens and the compatibility of this camera and then this microphone. It's so compact and small, and I appreciate that and value that so much in a camera. But when it comes to recording a video, so this records the gyroscopic data that I'm able to utilize in a software called Catalyst Prepare, which actually stabilizes the video, which is what I'm using right now. And if I turn it off, you can see that it sort of crops out a little bit, but there's like some more jitters with the camera. And then when I turn it back on, or when I reutilize the software, then it makes it more stable. It does diminish the quality just a tiny little bit, which is pretty noticeable when I record in 1080p, and then I have to import that and then export that through that software. But if I record in 4K, that diminished quality, if I then export in 1080p after recording in 4K, it should not really impact the footage that I record that much. I don't think. There's still that crop factor there with the software, but I'm trying to figure this out. I'm trying to experiment with just recording in a different frame rate, in a different resolution, and I'm tweaking the just settings on the camera. I'm trying to figure it out, and it's intimidating, and I'm recording in 24 frames a second. But if I go over here and I turn on this lights, look at this. This might be an issue at some point. I don't want to record in 30 frames a second because this wouldn't happen. Just that's how the frame rate and then how these lights are, because 30 frames a second would crop in like a lot more, and then I would lose that that wide angle factor. That's really just the most important aspect of what this camera provides for me right now. Anyway, now, ridiculous segue, I'm gonna go get some breakfast from Cracker Barrel. Alright, so I picked up our food from Cracker Barrel here. I'm also trying to pay attention to just how my camera behaves in other lighting situations and settings. So far it's not as bad as the film room, that's for sure. But okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take this home, and then we can continue our day. And I've made it back home, and this is what we have for breakfast. So I got the breakfast tacos, which is eggs, bacon wrapped in a pancake. And then, Brennan, you got like the eggs Benedict situation over here?
Yeah, but it's like instead of an English muffin, it's a biscuit.
Ooh, and then you got some breakfast casserole hash brown bites, I think there. I got the loaded casserole right there. I got some apples, and then you got some pancakes over here. So this is our breakfast from Cracker Barrel. So we finished with Cracker Barrel, and I wanted to come to the post office to check the P.O. box. And my particular P.O. box is all the way in the corner over here. This is mine right here. I like to try to stay as up to date as possible on this. So I made it back home. There's Brendan on the couch over there playing The Sims. We're listening to some Disney jazz songs right now on YouTube. But I wanted to show what I've gotten recently in the P.O. box. So this is from Jabber. Jabber always sends incredible stuff, and this is probably one of the coolest cards I have ever received, because when you open it up, look at that. Fireworks. It says, Roy, wish you a wonderful year and a long, fun, successful life. Happy birthday, because it was my birthday recently. And then also over here, this is from Gavin, and Gavin sent a Scarlet and Violet Elite Trainer box, which I think is so cool. And then of course I got some letters here from my parents and Brennan's parents. All right, so I opened up the packs, and I actually got some pretty good cards. I've been very critical of Scarlet and Violet, but these are actually some really great ones. So thank you so much, Gavin. This was so much fun. So I wanted to talk about this that I purchased actually before our Disneyland trip. This is the ZV-E1, and this is sort of the big brother to the camera that I'm using right now, the ZV-E10. This is a full-frame camera, and this is monumentally more expensive than the camera that I'm using right now because of that aspect. It's about 3 times, maybe a little bit more, as expensive as the camera that I'm currently using. And I got it with the intent to test it out, just to see what this camera was like. And I just cannot justify it being worth the price. This is the newest camera that actually just came out for this series. probably the most compact full frame camera, and this would actually record in 4K in 60 frames a second, but I just cannot justify the price. And utilizing this lens, I did try to test it out, and it just looks very odd just in terms of the crop or the lack thereof of a crop. So I don't know. I just don't think that I'm ready for a full frame camera quite yet. I think one of the most significant demerits of this camera is that it overheats incredibly quickly. And as someone who vlogs at theme parks in Florida, this is probably not the best camera to use. I hope that they improve this in the future, or just whatever sequel that this camera could potentially have, or maybe even this one, that could be an alternative option at some point. But this is like, it's over $2,200 for this camera, and then a memory card that can record 4K at the speeds that it needs to be able to read and write to. That is $100 to $300. That is an incredible investment just to have slightly better quality. So I'm going to try to make it work with this camera, and I have purchased a microphone. I've been so against using external microphones on cameras, but I wanted to try to use one for this camera, and I did use this on the Disneyland trip, and I don't know, there was a lot of wind noise, and just the particular audio settings on this camera are a little bit confusing to try to figure out. I've tried to adjust them for the most part. There are better microphones than this one right here that I'm currently using, but this is like the smallest microphone I think I've ever used, and I am all about being discreet when it comes to vlogging as much as possible. So essentially, I'm still trying to figure this camera out, and I'm trying to make it work. And if this video is weird at all, or if previous videos have been weird, I'm at least trying to work on that. Even my previous camera, this took a lot of adjusting to try to get used to, because I did not like it at first. I even bought this lens and then I returned it, and then I bought it back again. So it takes a little bit of configuring just to try to figure out your own, I guess, particular adjustments that make your camera setup worth it. And that's what I think I'm trying to work through. But what I really need to work through is this frame rate situation, because this is not going to work out. Right? There has to be some sort of lights like this that can be compatible with 24 frames per second. See, these lights are also doing it. And this is where I put our wands from the Warner Brothers tour. I wish that they were interactive. How cool would that be to take those to the Wizarding World? And something's going on over here. Arlo's on the table. Arlo.
He wanted to be tall.
Arlo, what are you doing up here? Hey there, puppy. How are you doing? There's Calvin over there underneath the couch, and then here's Farley, who's just begging to go outside. So what I think we're going to do is go where, Vernon?
The outlets?
Yeah, we're gonna go to the outlets, and then
Disney Springs?
yes!
Yeah!
So we've made it to the Violin Premium Outlets, and it's raining. Alright, so we parked the car. It's still somewhat raining a little bit, and why we are here is because I would like to get some shoes. I need to get some shoes because Brennan and I are doing the upcoming 10K at Disney. So we walked down to the food courts and we're heading inside Adidas right here to see what sort of deals they might have. Alright, so we've been perusing for a couple minutes and I ended up getting a pair of shoes. They are not the most exciting or colorful shoes, but they will definitely work. So we actually both ended up getting some shoes.
They were having a really good sale, and like I really want to get a good pair of shoes too, and like I get a lot of leg pain when I run, so I've been really looking for something with like a thick like sole. So
That's why you're with me.
that's why I'm happy I found these, and they were 40% off.
Right, I ended up getting these right here, which are, again, pretty standard. Nothing really incredibly special about those, but we need them to do our big run in November. It's going to be intimidating. We got to train, Brennan. So now we're heading to the food courts over to the Disney Character Warehouse, which we never go to. We've never eaten inside the food court here at the Character Warehouse. We're going to the Character Warehouse inside the outlet. It's going to rain probably again at some point, but let's just see if they have anything interesting. So there's a lot of Christmas stuff and Halloween stuff and Wakanda stuff. They have 50th anniversary celebration stuff and Star Wars. And I actually really do like this water bottle. So this is actually pretty cool because this is a Main Street Electrical Parade jacket right there. And then also something else that we found were these pants, because you'd think they would be Goofy pants, right? But they are not. They're inside out. So we found some Jungle Cruise Mickey Mouse ears there, as well as some Big Thunder Mountain ears. So what I think we're going to do is we're actually each going to get a set of pins, because we did bring our pin trading lanyards, and we're going to see if we could trade these pins These are $9 for 3 pins that we can actually trade at Disney Springs tonight, and hopefully get something a little bit better, right?
Yeah.
That's the plan. So I think we're probably going to leave, but I was very tempted to get this 4XL Flubber shirt. So they have these Main Street Electrical Parade magnets for the 50th anniversary of the parade. We just missed this. I don't know if I just missed it, but we did miss it when we went to Disneyland, so maybe at some point we'll see this again. Okay, so it started to rain again. We are heading back to the car to go to Disney Springs. Thankfully, Disney Springs is a very quick drive away from here. We have dinner in about an hour from now at a restaurant that Brennan actually doesn't know about yet. And here we are at Disney Springs, parking in the orange garage. Does this give you any clue where we're going, Brennan?
No. Did you tell them it's a surprise dinner?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay, so we are descending the orange garage escalator into Disney Springs, and we're heading towards the restaurant that we're going to be having dinner tonight at. So why we're here to have dinner is because Brennan recently got a promotion at work, so we are here to celebrate. And we're going somewhere that she has never gone, that I've never gone before. So we're heading this direction towards STK. Okay, so now we're heading this way up the stairs. Are you having fun?
I usually lead, so I'm not enjoying like not knowing where I'm going.
We still have about 15 minutes to make it over there, so we have plenty of time to enjoy the sights and sounds of Disney Springs, right? Okay, so we've made it to the top of the stairs, and now we're heading this way.
You're taking me on a ride.
So now we're back where we started, over here by Disney Style. So I took Brennan on a little loop, and we're heading over here towards the west end of Disney Springs. They also handed out one of these, this Drawn to Life, what would you call this, promotional flyer. We've never done this. We should totally do this.
There's only one place down here left that we've never eaten at together.
Do you think you know what it is?
Is it House of Blues?
I don't know, we'll see. I already tried to make her think that it was Splitsville, but we've already eaten there before. So we're passing by the construction for the Summer House, which is currently not open. And then of course the AMC. And there's Haleo over here too, which we haven't eaten at as well.
People in the front. I don't know how.
So here we are at Haleo, which is not where we're eating. We're continuing on even further. We're eating at the M&M store.
Yeah!
So we're over by House of Blues now, and CityWorks, and then there's Cirque du Soleil. And this is as far down as we can go. This is the Smokehouse, which is next to the House of Blues entrance, and this is where we are going to have dinner
The
tonight.
Smokehouse?
No, the restaurant.
Yay! I love House of Blues!
I have never eaten here before, so this is going to be pretty exciting. It's a little bit rainy tonight, so maybe we'll be sitting inside. This is going to be a fun experience, hopefully. This is pretty cool. There's a statue of the Blues Brothers here right inside the House of Blues. How appropriate. Okay, so we followed our hostess all the way to the very back room back here. It's very backlit because it's over by the water, but we're gonna look at the menu here and try to decide what we want. So we're still looking at the menu to try to decide what we want, but we did get an appetizer. These are the barbecue nachos, which is 4 cheese sauce, avocado, roasted corn salsa, pickled red onion, tomato, Memphis barbecue sauce, cilantro crema, and rotija cheese. And now the food has arrived. Those nachos were delicious. So I'll go with Brennan first. Brennan got the Cajun chicken pasta, which is blackened chicken penne pasta, Cajun cream sauce, bell pepper, tomato, red onion, basil, and parmesan.
This is a
with
lot.
Cajun shrimp.
This is coming on with me.
And then I got the smoked brisket sandwich, which is roasted garlic and herb aioli, crispy onions, garlic butter, and a brioche bun. So we have to bring home some of our entrees because they were enormous, but we decided to get a dessert, and this is the bread pudding. So we sat in the very back of the restaurant back there. This is sort of like the main dining area here with some live music, and we're heading out of the House of Blues. And then again, here's Jake and Elwood, the Blues Brothers. This was fun. I like this. The sun is starting to set. There is some pretty major weather that seems to be rolling in, and we're heading over to, I think, World of Disney because we need to get some, like, little buddies here for our lanyards. There's the House of Blues water tower back there, and we're heading all the way over to the other side of, I guess, technically downtown Disney, past World of Disney. So we're heading, oh no, lightning. We're heading to the, to the pen trading area that's going to be over by the Roll of Sandwich. Look how pretty that is over there. And then also the balloon behind Brennan. Not bad, right?
That's not bad.
There's the boathouse down there. There are live performers everywhere at Disney Springs tonight. There are a lot of places that I considered trying to go to, Paddlefish being amongst the top contenders, but I could not get a reservation at Paddlefish. So I'm glad that we did House of Blues, even though you have been there in the past with your parents.
I have been there. We've just never been there together.
Rainforest Cafe is erupting over there. I considered, not really actually considered, but I was going to joke that we were going to be going to Rainforest Cafe as my big surprise dinner for Brennan for her promotion, but decided to not do that. And we've made it to the world of Disney, and we're going to find some sort of a little trinket. So we cannot find these keychains anywhere. I feel like they would be somewhere up at like a register. So they do have some keychains over here, but they're like in the middle of the queue, so they're sort of hard to access. But this is sort of cool. They have a Mickey and Minnie People Mover plush, and then Dumbo. So we're looking at these board games. I have this one, and they also have Battleship, these two Pirates of the Caribbean, and then Monopoly over here, and then the Game of Life, which that's cool, and then Candyland. This is actually very tempting. This is normally $100, but it's half off, and it is a Haunted Mansion chess set. How cool is that? So we can't find any of like the keychains that I'm looking for. They do have these fun shoulder buddies here, and then just some general magnets, but yeah, not what I'm looking for. So we're back outside, at least heading over to the pin trading area that I don't think we've ever gone to really before. So we've made it to the Disney pin trading location here at Disney Springs. Let's see if we can find a keychain over here. See, this is sort of what I'm looking for, right here. But I haven't seen them really anywhere. They do have these keychains in certain areas, but not like a huge selection. They used to have just so many of these kinds of keychains. So our last chance is going to be in Once Upon a Toy over here. Then we're going to go back over to Pin Traders. So they do not have any keychains that we're looking for, unfortunately, but they do have this really cool Disney Cruise Line model. And there's Goofy, of course, laying down on the job. I might have to do Mickey's pants.
Alright.
Yes.
Mickey's Bam. Do I want to do this?
I was looking at that too. I didn't even see that one.
Or this Baymax?
You can do two per person either way.
I think I'm gonna do this one.
So we're gonna trade it for this Disneyland, I guess, like, ticket stub?
The A-ticket stub?
Yeah. And then I got Mickey's pants.
Didn't you trade away Mickey's pants last time?
I don't remember. But yeah, we just traded here. Now we're gonna go over to the pin trading station. They have a lot of starter pin sets where if you have never traded pins before, you can purchase one of these just starter pin collections and you can go from there. And then they have a bunch of mystery packs too.
I will trade my random Cheshire Smile for Autopia. Thank you.
I'll trade my mushroom
Alright.
for this Mickey Mouse.
Alright.
So we each traded a pin. Brennan traded for this Autopia pin, which I already have.
Yeah.
And then I traded for this Mickey Mouse.
Yeah. Classic Mick.
This is a very busy and popular area over here. Here's Mickey and Minnie, and I think we're heading over to the Christmas store on the other side of the carousel over there. This is the Days of Christmas store, and we're going to see if they have a trading board in here. And if they don't, then we might head over to the Marketplace Co-op. So they actually did have a pin trading board back there, but nothing that we wanted. So now we're heading outside. This is over by Rainforest Cafe. Okay, we're back by the pin trading store, heading over towards the Marketplace Co-op. We think we'll have a pretty good chance over there. There are multiple different stores in here. The volcanoes are opening again, so we should find a pin trading board somewhere. Okay, so I asked, and I was directed over to the centerpiece area over here, and they should have a board behind the counter. So I can trade two, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Were there any that you were interested in?
Yes, I think I'm gonna do Donald Duck's hat,
Awesome.
and then
Like, yeah, go for it.
and then probably Pinocchio's cap.
I was looking at this Mike Wazowski, but
I didn't even notice that one.
The Skyliner collection is really cute.
I'm surprised you didn't want the little mini.
that was the one I was looking at. Do I want Mike or do I want Minnie? I think I'm gonna go with Minnie.
Minnie?
Minnie
Yeah.
Mouse. So Brennan traded one pin, our very final Cheshire cat.
And I
for
got Minnie!
this cute little mini. All of yours are so small.
I know.
You should have put that mini up here next to that Mick.
I might rearrange them in a bit. Right now I was just putting them where I had open spots.
So I traded for this Donald Duck hat, and then this Pinocchio hat.
You like the hat?
Look at all of these. I also found this one in my car. This one's been in my car for the longest time, and I got a bag for it. So now I have all of my pins. There might still be one somewhere underneath the car seat somewhere, but I found most of the pins that we've accrued over the years, and we distributed them amongst both of us. So for the most part, these are our pins. This is actually pretty cool. They still do have the vault area over here, which is very tempting. So we are passing by the theater over here. There's a concert over here. Everyone has their phone lights up, and we're heading towards the parking garage. We're passing in front of the Lime Garage now, and we're actually making a quick detour on the way over to the car. And that is going to be to the Walt Disney World ticketing building services area over here. This right here, the Disney Ticket Center, to renew her annual pass. And look at that.
Yay! And
Yay.
I got it with PhotoPass.
Yeah, okay, so we've almost made it back to the orange garage, and we are heading home. It's getting pretty late.
So we're back home in the kitchen, where the light is a little bit more tolerable than in the film room right now. So that was our day. I talked a lot about camera stuff, just that I've been wanting to try to verbally process. I'm still working on the camera stuff, so if this video looked a little bit weird or sounded a little bit weird, the outro that I recorded was in 60 frames a second, so I don't know how that's going to look on a video that is 24 frames a second. Same with the intro, I guess, so I might have to redo some of that. I don't know. I'm figuring out this microphone too, or I might have to get another microphone, but we will see and deal with that when we have to. But we went to the outlets where we got some running shoes so we can get ready for our 10K that we're going to be doing in November.
Or 5K?
We're doing the 10K.
Huh.
Yeah.
Huh.
And then we went to Disney Springs and we had dinner at...
House of Blues.
Yeah, and it was delicious. And we brought a lot of it home with us because the portions were huge.
Yes.
But they were... I don't know, it was a really cool experience. I enjoyed the atmosphere in there, and I'm surprised that we haven't been there before together. And I hope we get to go back at some point. And then we did some pin trading. We did buy some I don't know, throwaway pins at the outlets that were really cheap that we were able to uptrade, I guess, for some other cool pins. So
You
this
almost
trip,
look like you're making a Mickey here with the pants.
yeah, that's the goal, I guess. So I don't know what we're doing with pin trading, but it's definitely been
We're
a
just
lot of fun.
doing it when it's fun to do it. I don't think we're trying to make any sort of huge collections. I don't think we're trying to make any huge investments. I think we're just doing it to do it when it's fun.
That's what we say now, at least. And we still don't have a little friend to attach to our lanyards, but we might find one that we have here already, or we might just at some point attach something sort of meaningful.
If I run into one that I like, I'll get it.
Yeah. So thank you for watching. We appreciate it. We'll see you soon. Have a great day, and goodbye.
Goodbye!
So just a second, as a bit of a follow-up, a few days later, what I decided to do is get this Sony ECM B1M microphone. It looks just like this. It's on the camera right now. You might be able to tell a bit of a difference between the previous clip and then this clip right now. This is just a much more, I think, financially viable option as opposed to buying an over $2,000 camera. This is a really good microphone, I think, and I'll be able to work with this microphone a little bit better as opposed to this one. This is one that I had, the ECM G1 microphone. It is just so much more compact, but I don't know, there's so much more that I can do with this microphone. There's actually one in the middle, sort of between these. There's the ECM G1, there's the ECM B10, and then there's the ECM B1M, and I just sort of skipped over the middle one. So I went from Dennis, skipped over Roy, and then I went with the Travis microphone. So hopefully this works out for me, and you can tell a bit of a difference or an improvement, at least in the audio, which I'm really hoping for. And then again, I'm just playing around with the 24 frames a second as opposed to the 60 frames a second, which is different for me personally. I don't know how that's going to look with just the frame rate, and as opposed to having more frames per second, you can see a little bit more, but it's not necessarily as comfortable for the eyes. So I'm working on that. We will see what ends up happening with this camera, with this microphone, if this works out a little bit better. And also I wanted to show this off, if I can even pick these up. Look at what I got at Sam's. Look at these cool Pokeball tins. I got a couple of them, and they were very cheap. All right, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon. Have a great day, and goodbye.